Say what's cracking, YouTube? It's your boy 16 to life, and I'm back like I'm on a pro violation. You're down. Now, for those of y'all that's new to my page, in 94, I got arrested. I was eventually sentenced to 16 years plus life, and I ended up serving 24 years straight in the California prison system. During those times, I accumulated some good stories. I'm going to share one with y'all today. If you happen to like the story, be sure to hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and most definitely be sure to hit the notification bell. That way, anytime I drop a story, you will be notified ASAP, and you can hop on it whenever you're ready. Also, if you knew, like I told y'all, man, I rap. Do not get it twisted. The flow is nothing like Curtis Blow. I got a song called Never Gave Me Therapy. It's on all major streaming sites. It's a video up for that on YouTube. I got a video up for a song I did called Go From Here. Matter of fact, just go to my YouTube playlist, scroll down the gas stations, and you can find all my music there. You definitely gonna be pleasantly surprised. Now, let's hop right up into this story. Actually, this story right here takes place while I was still in the county jail fighting my cases. I told y'all a story earlier where I said the title of the story was I gave the white guy a three-piece. And I made a small mistake in that story. Afterwards, I said, when I got into it with the white dude, they moved me to 3A. But now as I thought about it, no, they took me to the old county jail. Then I ended up going to 3A later on. So the old county jail is across the street from the new county jail, Riverside. And it's like a series of tunnels. I believe it's underground. So anyway, I'm being walked with this sheriff down these long hallways. He's telling me go this way, go that way. Now we come to this one hallway, and it's got a big old some bars on it like you would see in one of those old western movies. So now he pulls this latch, and it makes this loud clanging sound, but what it's doing is it's releasing the lock on a series of cells that's down that hallway. So then we walk down the hallway, we pass his day room, and he happens to put me in the first cell. I believe the name of that cell was 19C1. Now that cell was also like something you see in one of those old western movies, bars on it, and there was a wall, then it had a series of cells next to it. Now, at the top of the cell, there was bars too. Now, the bad thing about this was it was like a I believe it was a six-man cell, and it was three cells, three bunks on the bottom, three bunks on the top on each side of it. So, and we stayed in there basically all day. The cell was maybe 10 to 12 feet long. And like I said, it had these metal bunks attached to the wall, and it was there was hardly any room up in there. Once you stood up, you couldn't even stretch your arms out like this, your elbows, because the bunks was right there. So, and we stayed in there all day. They would come get us maybe an hour or two a day if we wanted to use the shower, and then take us to that day room that I told you all about earlier. They had the phones in the shower up in there, and outside of that, they'd bring us back, I think 3 times a week. We could go to the roof where they had a gym and exercise and play basketball or whatever. But outside of that, we stayed in that cell the whole entire time, man. Basically either just on our bunks reading, playing cards, or chess, So it was pretty miserable up in there. So what I started doing, man, for fun is in Riverside County, they give you a property box, and your property box has your name on it and stuff like that. And when people would walk past the cell, sometimes I would see the name on the property box. So then at this particular time, like in 95, Riverside County was extremely crowded. I think it was the summertime. So a lot of times they would give dudes an OR. If you came in there with a non-serious charge, and an OR basically is they would let you out on your own recognizance. They might send you to the cell, and maybe 3 or 4 hours later call your name and tell you that you was being released due to overcrowding. Or sometimes you may stay in there a week or two, go to court, and then you'd get released on an OR. So I would come, late at night, I'd come because I was in the first cell, I would come grab the bars, shake the bars to try to make it sound like the dude was pulling that latch down. I would remember somebody's name that I seen on the box and call their last name, like, Curtis, you're being released, man. Get all your property together. I'll be back in 15 minutes to come get you. So the dude would be all excited and stuff, thinking he's going home, and it would just be me up there clowning and having fun. Now, I never forget, I got this one white guy real good, man. I can't remember what his name was, but let's just say his last name is Michaels. Now, he had been in there a couple of weeks. He had went to court and stuff, and they told him it was a chance that he might get OR'd or whatever. So later that night, I went up there, I shook the bars and stuff, make it sound like the dude was letting the latch go. And I said, Michaels. He was like, yeah. I was like, get your stuff, man. I'll be back to get you in 15 minutes. You're being released. He was like, okay, cool, thanks. And so now he's down there. You can hear him talking. He's all excited. Oh yeah, dude, I'm out of here, bro. Yeah, bro, I'm leaving, bro. You need some soap, bro? You hear dudes asking him for like some toothpaste or soups or M&Ms. Yeah, bro, go ahead, bro. No, it's all good, bro. Take that. I don't need that, bro. Go ahead. Yeah, you want these M&Ms? Hey, yeah, here, man. Here, Kev. Here, you need some pencils? You need some paper? Yeah, man. You need a couple of stamps? So he's passing out all this stuff, and we up there snickling and giggling. It's just so funny. So now time is going by. So after about 15, 20 minutes, I hear him down and like, damn, dude, I wonder where the dude's at, man. He said he'd be back, right? So maybe about 25, 30 minutes later, the guard comes to lock us in and do count. And so guard walks past, he's counting, looking at people, counting the name or whatever, however he's doing count. So when he gets to that dude's cell, the white guy says, hey, dude, I'm ready. Yeah, man, me, Michaels. And the dude said, ready for what? What are you talking about? He said, yeah, you called me, man. You told me to pack my stuff up, man, and I'm getting released. He said, oh, man, dude, somebody's down here pulling your leg, man. I didn't say anything like that. Everybody busted up, it was hella funny, man. So I'm assuming those dudes gave him all his stuff back or whatever. And then from time to time, you'd have dudes down there. They walk past. They say, hey, chill, we got a new dude down there, man. Get him later tonight. And they'd give me the name. And we was doing this for fun and amusement, right? And so I remember one time I was in there, I forget why I'd got into it with a white dude next door, but the white dude, it called me the N-word, man. So we had these cups of water, these insulated cups. And so I went back there to the sink. They had this hot water spigot. I put water in there. I climbed to the top of the bars because now you couldn't see through the next cell, but I could just reach my hand through the bars and just dump hot water over there, and they started screaming and hollering. I did it again. And they, hey, man, come on, man, what are you doing? You wetting everybody. I said, wait, man, check that dude over there, Back then, like I said, I had no tolerance for the N-word, man. I already had life, and I was sitting back waiting for this other murder case to be basically adjudicated or whatever, to be dealt with. At that point in time, I already had 9 years plus life. And like I said, now I got this trailing murder case that I'm dealing with or whatever. So at some point in time, this Sureno dude, he comes up in there, man. Sureno. So he's probably about 5'7", maybe 165, 170. Now keep in mind, I'm only 140 pounds back then at that time. So now the guy comes in there. He might be in the cell maybe about 2 or 3 days, man. They had me. It was me, this black dude in the cell. The young black dude around my age. They had an older black dude. They had another Hispanic dude who was older, in his 40s, 50s, somewhere around there. He was kicking heroin. He was in there going through it, shaking, going through convulsions in his bed all the time. The young Sureno dude who came in there was trying to give him candy and stuff like that. I guess it helps him, kick the heroin or whatever. And it was a white dude up in there. So now at some point, he stays in there about 2 days, maybe 2-3 days, and you could holler through the bars around the corner with some more cells. And he had a homeboy down there. So basically, he was asking his homeboy, hey man, try to get me moved over there. I want to get moved up out of here. So his homeboy asked him, well, hey, who are you down there in the cell with? He said, oh, well, it's me. It's an older homie. It's a white dude. And while they're talking, they'll say a little in English. They'll say a little in Spanish. And then so he said, he's described who was in the cell. And he's also, then he reverted back to Spanish and he said, dos mayates. So now for those of you guys who not be from California or who may not know, Mayate is pretty much equivalent to the N-word. You know what I'm saying? And so once I heard him say that, I jumped up. I said, hey, man, what you say? He said, hey, Holmes, rest your neck. I'm not talking to you. I said, yeah, but you being disrespectful. And so now while I'm talking to him, I'm turning to the side because like I told y'all, those cells is extremely small up in there. And also keep in mind, this is after I'd already got into it. I told you guys some Hispanics had jumped me back there in a story that I called, the essays caught me slipping. So at this point, I ain't giving nobody the chance to get off on me first or whatever. So, like I said, after he told me, man, I wasn't talking to you, rest your neck or whatever. I said, yeah, but you being disrespectful, man. He said, yeah, well, whatever. And I just, bam, I got off on him. After I get off on him, he fall up against the bars, and then he rushed me. Like I said, it's so small up in there, you really can't do. It's too small to do any type of fight. So now it's just really like a wrestling match. So now we in there, we wrestling around. Now the older dude, the Hispanic dude, he's trying to say, hey man, he's just yelling, y'all stop or whatever. But he ain't really trying to get into it. The two black dudes that's up in there, they kind of like got out the way. But now earlier, the Hispanic dude who he was talking to earlier, now he's screaming down there from wherever he's at. Like, mess him up, get him, homie, get him, mess him up, get him. So it's basically we just basically in there doing a whole lot of wrestling, like I said, because there's really no room to fight. So at one point in time, I get him in a headlock, and the dude starts biting me. He's biting me on my chest, basically like right here on my chest. He's biting me, biting the hell up out of me. So we in there, we wrestling around, man. We in there wrestling around, and at some point in time, man, a sheriff or somebody comes to the door like, hey, break it up. But we haven't stopped. We still in there, throwing a little punch here and there. But like I say, it's really no room to do all that. It's more of a wrestling match pretty much than anything, man. And so they open up the door, they come up in there, they separate us. They end up sending me to 3A, which was the Crip tank. And once I got to 3A, that's how I end up meeting the biggest Crip I ever saw, a dude by the name of Dan Tanner. And I will definitely have that story ready for y'all in a day or two. So anyway, man, y'all already know what it is. It's your boy 16 to life. Matter of fact, I'll give y'all a small little bit. And you sometimes in the comments, man, I'll hear a lot of individuals, especially from out of town, saying that the blacks are scared of the Surenos, man. And I don't necessarily think it's like that. I mean, you have now, to keep it real, I have done some time with some individuals who seem like they was more quicker to attack their own race than deal with the Surenos, especially in prison, because of their unity. I'll be the first one to say they're extremely organized. They are definitely with the business. They don't play no games and stuff like that. But I think from time to time you have dudes on YouTube who make it seem like their narrative is like the blacks are scared of the Hispanics and always getting the worst end of the stick. And I don't necessarily know if that's true. In my experience, the whole time that I was in the prison, I was never involved in a riot versus the Hispanics, the Surenos. I've been in a few standoffs with them, but never an actual riot, which is definitely a blessing and a good thing. During those times, of course, there was always some hotheads who wanted to take off, who didn't care. You always had some dudes on the other side of the spectrum saying, hey, no, man, y'all is tripping or whatever. Let's talk this out. So it just all depends on the situation. It all depends on the reason of the argument, period. But I just wanted to put that out there, man, because at the end of the day, man, I think it's more of a man type thing with some individuals, man. I mean, when you caught up in their life, sometimes it doesn't necessarily matter who your opponent is. I mean, when it's time to go, it's time to go, man. Like I said, they had jumped me before in the old county jail, and to me it's never personal. It's something that we signed up for. But there's no way I was gonna sit back and let this dude basically, not even though he wasn't calling me a mayate, use that term right in my face, man. That was, to me, that was extremely disrespectful. And I grew up, I was born in the 70s, and I grew up at a time and era where we didn't allow people outside our race to call us that, use that in our presence, none of that stuff. So that was my thinking back then. I'm a little more flexible now, just slightly, in terms of other races using the word, because now, I mean, it's what's going on. It's the culture. I still don't necessarily like to hear it, but I mean, I'm not just to try to tell a dude what he can and can't say now when he's not using the word in a disrespectful manner. But anyway, yeah, man, I just wanted to put that out there. You already know what it is. Definitely be sure to be ready for my story. My next story, the biggest Crip I ever saw. I got a picture. This dude was humongous. I'll try to have that up for y'all in a day or two. You already know what it is. It's your boy 16 to life. Resume normal program.